Hormones are chemical substances that our body releases, and then those chemical substances control and regulate various activities of our body's cells and organs. In these activities, there are growth, body temperature, hunger, thirst, blood sugar. So, all these activities are controlled by hormones. In this lecture, I will tell you about hormones. In this lecture, here is the list of things we will cover. First, we will study what hormones are, meaning we will read the definition of hormones. After that, we will discuss how many types of hormones there are. That is, we will read the types of hormones. Then, we will study what a gland is. And then, we will move on to the functions of hormones. What tasks hormones perform. And finally, we will study hormonal diseases that occur in our body. So let's begin. First, let's look at the definition of hormones. What hormones are. Students, hormones are chemical substances in our body which are released by some organs in our body. And then those chemical substances control various activities of our body. For example, our body's growth. Some people have less growth. Some people have more growth. So this is controlled by the growth hormone. People with more growth hormone tend to grow taller, while those with less may have shorter stature. So actually, this is a hormone issue. Similarly, there are some hormones that control our body's blood sugar. If that hormone is not released, people's sugar level increases. If sugar increases, then that hormone is released. It brings down the sugar level. Likewise, hunger, thirst, and many other activities of our body are controlled by these hormones. Now, I want to clarify one thing here. The organs that release these chemical substances like hormones are called glands. Now, let's move on to the types of hormones. Students, there are two types of hormones. One is peptide hormones and the other is steroid hormones. The word peptide itself indicates that these are made of amino acids. Similarly, if we talk about steroid hormones, they are made from cholesterol. Talking about peptide hormones, they are water soluble, while steroid hormones are water insoluble. Peptide hormones are hydrophilic, but steroid hormones are hydrophobic. Hydrophilic is derived from two words, hydro and philic. Hydro means water. Philic means love. They are water loving. But those that are hydrophobic, hydro means water and phobia means fear. So they are water fearing. Peptide hormones are water loving, meaning hydrophilic. Steroid hormones are hydrophobic, meaning water fearing. For this reason, peptide hormones, being water loving, cannot cross the cell membrane. But steroid hormones can cross the cell membrane because steroid hormones are fat soluble. Now, if we talk about examples, insulin is an example of peptide hormones. But if we talk about examples of steroid hormones, then testosterone, estrogen, and progesterone are examples of steroid hormones. Students, whenever we study hormones, we also study glands. Now, what are glands? Glands are organs in our body that release certain chemical substances, and those chemical substances are called hormones. And those hormones control and regulate various activities in our body. Students, glands are of two types. One is endocrine glands and the other is exocrine glands. Endo is derived from inside and exo means outside. Endocrine glands are those glands that release their secretion directly into the blood. Such glands are called endocrine glands. That exocrine glands derived from out release their secretion outside the blood. Or we can say that they have a special type of pipeline called the duct. They secrete their secretion through the duct. Such glands are called exocrine glands. Now, let me clarify one more thing here. Endocrine glands do not have ducts. For this reason, endocrine glands are also called ductless glands. Now, if we talk about examples of endocrine glands include the pituitary gland, ovary, testes, thyroid gland, and adrenal gland. Now, if we talk about examples of exocrine glands, they include sweat glands and salivary glands. Students, let's move on to the functions of hormones. There are many functions in our body that hormones control. Here are some of them. The first function is food metabolism. Our body's food metabolism is controlled by hormones. Our growth is also controlled by hormones. Some people are short while some are tall. This is the work of hormones. Now let's move on to thirst and hunger. These are also controlled by hormones. Our body's temperature control up and down is also the work of hormones. Our mood, our cognitive functions, maintaining our blood sugar level. These are also the work of hormones. Additionally, sexual development and reproduction are also controlled by hormones. So, there are many more functions of hormones that they control in our body. Now, let's move on to hormonal diseases. Students, if any hormone in our body either increases in quantity or decreases, meaning the hormone is either underproduced or overproduced, it affects our body's growth, metabolism, and development. This causes various diseases in our body. If I mention some examples, there is hyperthyroidism, osteoporosis, and diabetes. In hyperthyroidism, thyroxine hormone is released in excessive amounts, which causes hyperthyroidism. If we talk about osteoporosis, it is caused when the parathyroid hormone is released in excessive amounts in our body. If we talk about diabetes, commonly known as sugar, it occurs when sugar levels rise in our body. Sugar increases because it is not metabolized properly due to the low release of insulin hormone. These are some hormonal diseases. Besides these, there are many other diseases in our body. Question of the day: which gland in our body is called the master gland? Only a genius can answer in the comments below. If you would like to watch my other lectures on topics like the lungs, kidneys, liver, brain and eyes, visit my channel to view my other videos.